it going? This is Amanda from Amanda Around the Globe, and today I am so excited to be sharing with you a Q&A because I haven't done one of these in a while and I've gotten a lot of questions lately, so I decided to just do a Q&A and get them all answered for you. So I asked you guys to post your questions in a recent Instagram post, so you can't see that. Here's my Instagram account, and on this post I asked you guys to send me questions. P.S. How pretty is this place? It's called the Blue Springs in New Zealand if anyone wants to go. Okay, so I got quite a lot of questions, more than I was expecting, and I'm just gonna look at my phone and answer them straight from here. So let's see, question number 1 is by Joy's Boho Boutique. She asked, when you move someplace new, do you have a time frame in mind that you plan on staying, or do you stay until you feel you need a change? This is a good question. Basically, I kind of have a time frame in mind, but it's never worked out so far. When I moved to Melbourne, I was planning on staying in one city for a year because I felt like I finally just needed to stay in one place for a while, and then 3 months into it, I was like, I can't stay here, I need to travel. So I just basically moved around Australia for the entire year that I was there. When I came to New Zealand, I was planning on staying in Auckland for 9 months, and I am leaving early, which you guys can find out about in my life update video, because yeah, that's a long story, but I'm not staying in Auckland for the entire time. I'm leaving next week, so I'll have been here for 5 months, which is still longer than I've stayed anywhere else in the last 3 years. But mainly I do just stay somewhere until I feel like I need a change. It's a lot different now traveling with a partner because Michael is a much more settled type of person than me. He likes to stay in one place, and I am much more nomadic than him. So I think being with him is a really good thing for me because it helps me stay settled and keep working, and moving around gets really expensive, and so staying in one place has been really good. And I've seen so much of the North Island from staying here. I definitely did try to convince him a couple months ago to move to the South Island, but I'm really happy that we stayed in the North Island. Tanya191 asked, do you feel you will ever finish traveling? I think this is an interesting question because I don't think that I will. I mean, I think that eventually I will stop living out of a backpack, if that's what you mean, but I don't think I'll ever go home one day and say I'm done traveling. I think that traveling is something that makes me a better person and really enhances my life, and so I don't think I would ever give something like that up. Yeah, I have some questions that are coming up that I'm about to answer, so I'll just keep going with that. But no, I'm never gonna finish traveling, but I will finish living out of a backpack. 1711 asks, how would you deal with a non-vegan partner? My boyfriend eats meat and it upsets me so much. That is a really good question, and that is something that I struggled with because Michael is not a vegan, he's not a vegetarian, he eats everything. I mean, he doesn't, that sounded wrong, but he'll eat anything. And when we first started dating, this is something that was really bothering me. I did have a long talk with him where we sat down and I explained to him why it affects me so much to see people eating meat, and I asked him to please, I'm so lucky, he's so sweet about this, but I asked him to please not eat meat around me because to me, I feel like I want to save the animals and I want to start my own animal sanctuary, and it seems really ironic almost to be with someone who's eating meat when I'm doing everything in my power to save animals. And he really was understanding about that, and so he doesn't eat meat in front of me very often. He does sometimes, and I try not to get upset about it because it is, at the end of the day, his decision on what he wants to eat. But since we've been together, he's eaten a lot more vegan foods because it's easier to just make one meal, but I don't expect him to ever become vegan. I don't think he ever will. I don't think he'll ever become a vegetarian, and that's something that I kind of have to deal with. You can't go into a relationship and expect someone to change. You have to kind of just love them for who they are, and Michael is a very caring person and he loves animals as well, and he understands why I'm vegan and he respects that, and I think that's kind of how we make it work. That was kind of a long answer, but I hope it helped. I know it's a really difficult situation to be in, but I think you kind of have to just accept the person how they are and kind of help them understand why you don't want them to eat meat in front of you, and hopefully they'll understand enough to respect that. I did talk about in a past video that I was with someone when I first became vegan 3 years ago. I was with someone who did not respect my decision to become vegan at all, and that ultimately played a large part in the ending of our relationship because I don't want to be with someone who doesn't, I don't expect them to become vegan, but I expect them to try to understand and respect my decisions, and I think that's just part of being in a good relationship. And so yeah, I'm very lucky that Michael's understanding and respectful of my decisions. Wenra107 asks, how do you like Auckland weather? What places are you going to go on the South Island? Auckland weather is extremely unpredictable. It can be really nice and sunny one day and then pouring rain for the next 3 days. Lately, I think it's been really nice because we haven't had too much rain, but it's definitely like it rains in the summer even, and it's just weird weather. I've been able to do everything that I want to do even though it rains a lot. I definitely prefer the sun, but I think that being in the rain and being in weather like that also helps settle me down, and it forces me to kind of take some relaxing time, and I think that's definitely something that I could use more of. So I think that the balance kind of has been working for me. I'm happy that none of my plans have had to be canceled due to rain, because I might feel differently about it then. Oh, and then the second part of your question is what places are you planning to go on the South Island? To be honest, I have no idea yet. And I leave in a week, but I'm going to Queenstown. I'm gonna fly in there and we're gonna stay there for a few days, and then we are going to go to a lot of places that I want to go to. I want to go to Glenorchy, I want to go to Milford Sound, of course, I want to go to the Franz Josef Glacier, I would love to go to Wanaka in the Lake District. There's just a lot of places that I want to go, but we have 10 days and we're gonna see what we can do with the weather that we get there. Do you think you'll make Australia your permanent new home? Danica Christian asked that, and the answer to that is yes, that is the plan. For those of you who don't know, I'm moving to Sydney after New Zealand. I'm gonna do a bit more traveling and then I'm gonna move to Sydney and apply for a partnership visa so that Michael and I can live in the same country, and I would love to make Australia my new home. That's our plan. I would love to just have a base and live somewhere and have a place to call home again, because for almost about 2.5, almost 3 years, I've been living out of Airbnbs and hostels and hotels, and I really miss having a place to call home, and I miss having a closet, and I miss having I really want some really specific weird things. Like I really just want to get a world map to hang on my wall, and I'm obviously not going to travel around with that. Like I just want to have a blender, and I want to have a place that I can come home to. And so yes, Australia is hopefully going to be my new permanent home. I'm planning to go there in a couple months to apply for the partnership visa and create a base from there. I will not stop traveling. I'm still going to travel from Australia, which is the farthest place away from everything, but I really love Australia. I think it's a beautiful country. I love the people there, and I love Michael very much. So yes, we are going to move to Australia and make it our new permanent home. That's all the questions I'm going to answer today. I hope you guys liked this and it was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!